Morning there, Anatomy of an Angler, Chris Harvey here. It's been an eventful day yesterday. I didn't start filming too much yesterday because I just wanted to get the rods out and get myself set up in the swim. And I had a new PB, which is a 27-pound grass carp. I had a 20-pound first off. Well, I actually started off with a tench. Then I went on to a 20-pound grass carp, which obviously set me off. That was a good start to the game, and then followed by the 27-pound grass carp. Absolutely bonkers, trying to hold that up. Sadly, I didn't get some good pictures. It was pouring down with rain, getting the camera set up, and obviously the grass carp, they're not great anywhere outside the water, so I had to get it back quite quickly. So the angle on the photo and the angle of the video is not great, but hey ho. And then that followed with I think around about 5 o'clock, 5:30, followed with a 17-pound common, which I'm very happy with. All of them on the same rod, so it was the same area of producing. Kept flicking it out. It was a little pop-up in a PVA bag with well, battery ran out on the old camera, so starting again. So all of them were caught on bottom bait. It was a krill wafter topped with a sweet corn, a bit of plastic sweet corn, so for a bit of visuals. And then my bait process all the way across, I'm just topping up the swim every sort of couple of hours with you're only allowed to use bait boats on here, you can't spom out, so I just put a couple of bait boat preps out of hemp, sweet corn, Scopex boilies, which I've halved up and quartered up and crushed up with lake water, and I've just left that to simmer and kind of like just soak up everything that I can get out of them. I added some chickpeas at the last minute just to add a bit more sort of fulfillment out of that, and that's it really. I flick out boilies every sort of 4 hours, depending on if I haven't had a bite. I just flick out some boilies to kind of feed the swim, but I don't want to heavily feed it, and that's it. Last night I had a take on the middle rod yet again, so I haven't had on any of the rods yet. It's always the same rod, and that was just a low doubles. I took a picture. I didn't do a video of that one. And then now I've put the bait boat out this morning, put 2 runs out, and then set up all the rods again. So I've got one on a spinner, so I can flick that around the lake if I see any showing fish. I've got one on a new kind of hook pattern that I haven't used yet, so it's just a long shank, and seems to have really good hooking potential when I've tested it out on my hand. But that's gone out now with a pop-up with a little weight underneath it just to kind of bring it down to the bottom, and I've put that on a baited area that I've been baiting since yesterday morning, on a shallow area of the lake. So there's quite a lot of carp wander over there when it's a little bit warmer, and I think the sun's going to come out a little bit today, so we'll see what happens there. Middle rod again is on the same spot, krill with sweet corn pop-up in a bag, and then obviously I squirt, as you've seen, I squirt some of the krill oil in it just to add some attraction in that one area, and all that whole area is covered in sort of the particle that I've been putting out. And then to finish off with my right hand is on a spinner with a pineapple pop-up on it, which is 12mm, and I'm just going to keep flicking that out every hour. I'll move it somewhere else and just keep flicking it and moving it. At the minute I've just got it down to my right, in a location I've never fished before. It's really weedy, this lake, so you have to find the spots, so the spinner is just going to kind of plonk anywhere I want it. But that's it for now. I'll keep you updated as we go on. I've got my dad coming later on, he wants to see the whole shebang, so we'll might get him casting out a rod or something later. But I'm going to finish my brew. I'm going to put some breakfast on, and I'll update you in a bit. Before we carry on with that session, I thought I'd just jump back to a couple of weeks before this, and this was when we were still doing day sessions. Still on the Specimen Lake, but this one was a challenging session and I thought I'd show it.
Yes, so back at my membership lake, which I've been fishing at the previous 2 videos. I've moved swim now. I'm on the other side of the lake. I'm trying to map it out, especially for summer. Rods are out. I've got one on zig just to test it out. I'm dying to catch something on a zig. I don't know what it is. I think it's that fact that it's a bit of an unknown for me. Bit of black foam with some worms on top. I've gone 2 foot off the bottom at the minute. It's super windy. I think that's the only time I ever fish is when it's windy. And then I've got one rod on a PVA bag with a little wafter, and I think it's a bloodworm wafter as well. And then I've got one on a spinner, since I caught 2 fish on the last time I came to this lake on spinner, and it's a very weedy lake. So I spent about an hour this morning trying to find some flat spots, some open areas where there's no weed. Sadly nothing out in front of me. I've got a spinner off to the right, which I've kind of just chucked out into an area where I know there's relatively less weed. And then I've got a spot which is 8 wraps away from to the left of me, which is actually in the next swim, but there's no one fishing except me today, so I've got the whole lake to myself. So I'll be having a little map around later on once I've kind of give this thing a rest, had a brew and chilled out. But yeah, that's it, that's the update. Fingers crossed. I mean, it's one of those weird days where I'm not entirely sure if I'll get a fish today because it's so windy, but I'm not worried because I'm kind of here just to get to know the lake a little bit better and see what happens in the areas. So there's 2 little islands in the middle, and then the rest of it is open land basically, lots of weed. So we'll see how it goes. I'll go for the next update. So I had a few people ask me on my last video through my Instagram what equipment I use and what reels and stuff I use. And personally, I don't think that makes a difference. I don't buy expensive stuff because I've only really just started fishing, but I can like slowly upgrade my stuff. But I've got Sonic, the 10,000 reels, the pros. They're brand new. I've just got them now recently, about 2 months ago, and I've put them through the paces. So it was quite nice to catch a couple of fish on that last session. To put them through, and it's fine. I've got the Daiwa Black Widow 12 foot, and I think that most of them are I've got two 2.75 test curves, and then one's 3 or 3.5, and yeah, they've been great. I've had them since I started fishing. I just kind of was like, I'm going to get some nice carp rods, but they were only like 30-40 pounds, I think, or maybe it was 60 pounds. It was one of them anyway, but I got them from Go Outdoors. Dead simple. And then the line I'm using is Ridge Monkey 12 pound line, and then the alarms I've got were from Amazon, and they were just like, I think you got 4 alarms and then a receiver for something like 60-70 pounds, but I've had a look recently now and they've gone up to 100 pounds. So I'm going to be talking under the bivvy today because it's so windy, as you can see. It's moving all over. The sound is probably a lot better underneath here than it is out there. And that's about it. And then obviously as you saw from the last video, I got the new Sabre very low profile rod pod, just because it's dead small. I can fit it in everything. And I've recently just got, I don't know if you can see it here because it's full of my stuff, but that's the Fox Barrow. So I've been using, as you've seen in a lot of the other videos, I've been using the little square ones, which I got from, I think it was from B&M, and it was like £45, whereas because I'm now doing a lot of fishing and I move a lot while I'm fishing, I decided to get a Barrow, and I've been saving up for a while to get one. I just wanted to make sure I got the right one, and this is the Fox Explorer. It's got a couple of little bags on it and stuff. So guys, thought whilst I'm waiting for the fish to bite, it's gone with the weather being so bad, I thought I'll just show you my new Barrow. It's the Fox Explorer. It's quite small. It's a lot smaller than I thought when I first bought it, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's the same size as my other trolley, but obviously comes with a lot more sort of added features, and my other trolley had to pull quite a lot, so I found that when I was pulling it, I'd go home and I'd be twisting my back a lot, and I got a lot of back pain on the right hand side. So with this, obviously, I'm putting all the weight over the wheel and lifting with the knees, and then most of the weight's pushed to the front, so I'm not pulling the weight. It comes with it comes with 3 bags. 2 obviously at the front here, which you can see. I have like my water in there, and I have all my brew kit in this one, so it's easy access. And then it comes with a big a big inner bag, which for me I store, I've got like all the odd bits and bobs, like extra boilies, suntan lotion, straps, and then all waterproof extra clothing. It's not going to hold a lot because it kind of drags on the bottom a little bit, and I didn't want to like, I don't want to knacker it up, but at the end of the day, once you finish with it, especially if you put it in your bivvy, it just pops out and then away you go. So I thought that was a brilliant feature. So if you are doing a couple of nights on the go, it probably won't last like 5 nights. You won't be able to get a good 5 nights on here. It's more of a travel on the move. But I do think, I haven't tested it out, but obviously when lockdown's over I'll be testing it out. But yeah, get enough on there to last at least a couple of nights. Features wise, you get this also, you get a little pop out shelf here, and then it screws back in so you can put your bait buckets and stuff on top of there. Close that on. Wheel is absolutely huge. It's probably one of the biggest things when it comes out of the box. I was like, holy crap, this is massive. You get straps as well to strap all your stuff in. I use bungee cords as well, just to keep that sort of, especially when it goes around my rods, to keep the elasticity. So I'm not putting too much pressure on my rods, but this one goes around the back just to kind of stabilize it all. What else? Arms come straight off. So once you take the arms off and you close this down, this actual dimensions is smaller than the wheelbarrow, which I only just fit in my car, and I only have an Astra, a Vauxhall Astra. So
it's time for that move, guys. It's time for that move.
Oh, so an update. I've obviously moved to the other side of the lake. There's no one else here, so I've moved to the side of the lake. The wind was absolutely hacking into me completely, and it's died down now, which is good. The rain stopped. So last time I obviously did a little update. I've had nothing, not seen it absolutely diddly squat. Trying to watch the birds as well, see if they can give me some indication where the fish might be, but most of them are out of the water as well. So yeah, I've just baited up a tiny bit of an area with some loose feed, and then put a couple of spinners on the top, one on an orange pop-up and one on a yellow. See if anything picks up. I've not used an orange one on this lake yet, and obviously I've only fished it once, so I'm not too sure. But it's a lot nicer, and the sun's come out a little bit, so I'm just going to do some standing up. And I've had a lead around this end, and I had a lead around another side. It's a lot deeper on the right hand side of the lake, so I'm kind of in the middle here. I don't know how deep it is in comparison because I haven't done any markering, but there's some good areas over that side. I found a really nice clean area over this side, but just have to see where it goes. I thought it's a bit of a boring update, but you know, it is what it is. But as you can see, maybe too much. Hopefully if this there we go. Hopefully if this sun warms up the water, they might start chomping down on some of my bait and get me a little bit of a bite before I leave today. But we're on, at the time now is 3 o'clock, so I've got another couple of hours, which is really odd. I've not seen anything, had no liners, had no shows, so it's hard throwing singles out to nothing, but we're in a good spot at the minute, and we'll just have to see how it goes. Whew, so literally 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it just shows that orange pop-up's gone. I was so shocked when it went. I was like, nah, it must be just a liner. And then it was like the massive drop back, and then it was like, oh, it must be a liner. And then it started going again. But I've got a funny feeling because I'm using slack lines on the the spinners, that actually they're getting a bit of force behind them, like they're moving a lot more before I'm getting hold of them. So yeah, I'll pop it. I'm gonna pop him in the weight sling, give him away, and then I'll do some of it. So my PB's 14, sadly. This one is £13 too. But very, very welcome. I thought I was going to blank today, and then we got this little beauty out. Proper gnarly old face, beautiful tail colours. I'm happy with that one. So that's it, guys. I think I'm going to sign off there. It's been a good day. It's been a hard day, but at least I got one out. I'm always happy if I just catch one. Rods are still out, but I'm going to start packing one away and just kind of like slowly till they build up. Everything else is on the barrow, and yeah. So thanks for watching. If you enjoy this, or if you just want to come by next time, subscribe. It does help the channel out, and it also just like lets me know that you like the content, basically. So I'm going to sign off there. This is Chris Harvey for Anatomy of an Angler. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Here we are back at the NEWAY Specimen Lake, and my dad's arrived. I'm just showing him the setup, and sometimes it's not just about the fishing, it's about the nature around you and feeding a one-eyed duck called Betty.
See, when I'm saying I'm fishing, this is all I'm doing.
I was hoping while my dad was there that it'd be good to get a bite, kind of show him the ropes, basically putting it in and out. So whilst we were waiting for the fish, I thought I'd reset a rod, put some bait out, and just show him sort of how technical carp fishing can be, and that's what interests me the most. Catching the fish is obviously a good prize, but getting everything prepped and ready so you know what you're going to do, how you're going to do things. Here I'm just cleaning out the bait bow, making sure there's no moisture in the back, so I'm going to put a PVA bag in the back.
So, idea. Gone the wrong way around, I think. Let's chat to you.
So as most of you know watching this, I'm just showing my dad now basically that because I'm going to put the bait boat PVA bag out with the bait boat at a specific distance, I'm using the distance sticks to mark out 8.5 wraps. That's where I've been fishing. So I know once I put the PVA bag in the back, I send it out in the boat. As soon as that line gets some tension and holds the tension, that's where I need to drop the PVA bag and filled with bait and my little hook. Here I'm just adjusting the bail arm, taking it off so then all the line will run free, holding the PVA bag quite tight so I know that I don't drop it in the water. And this is the tricky bit, we've got to get the line over the other rod and not get caught on anything, but keeping the bait nicely sectioned in. So you see me throwing the line there.
So, principle. That's now set to 8.5 wraps. Bait boat goes out. Stop when it gets to the clip. That's there. See, like the boat doesn't go any further.
Yeah. traps were set, and not long after, the middle rod went again. Sadly, this happened.
Oh. Should have not set the camera up. Sorry? Should have not set my camera up.
Then out of the blue, the left-hand rod, which I'd been baiting up since the first day, absolutely melted off.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Whilst on the Specimen Lake, my mate Alex, he went to another lake and he was catching these beautiful dumpy mirrors, and I was eager to go over there, so I blanked. I went with him, I pretty much blanked, but he was catching, and he was using more of a match fishing method. So I went back again by myself and just changed my whole method up, stopped doing the carpy stuff and joined the match fishing session with some feeder methods and some ground bait methods. Due to the lake being a match lake, it has got a good stock of carp in it. They just don't seem to come out very often. So the majority of the day I was pulling out F1s, skimmers, roach. I had some really nice tench, and then it just absolutely smashed it down, and something changed in the water, and there's nothing was biting after that. It was so hard to catch. The rain literally just turned the whole fish off. It's not a very deep lake, it's 4 or 5 foot. It felt like the right time to change my approach and target the carp now. So I switched over to a bottom bait, topped with some maggots, and then I had a PVA bag full of maggots as well, just for more attractants, and the results paid off. Within 20 minutes of having the rod out, it absolutely screamed off, and here are the results. Super happy with that. Quick check, make sure the hook's right, pop-up's right, straight back onto the money, cast out to the point. Again, same thing again, same spot, another nice big shouldered mirror carp. Welcome to British weather. It's probably going to... Come on, let's have a look. Nice scaly one. Oh, go on. God, Jesus Christ, ain't fighting. Come on. I'm glad I ain't got my other rod in the water. Oh Jesus, this is a beauty.
I know I haven't done too much talking to the camera today. I just kind of want to come out fishing. I've only got a day and then I'm working for the rest of the month, so what a day it's been so far. I thought I'd best say something, especially because I've got them fish, and that's what I came here for, to catch them nice, like kind of big-bellied, round-shouldered carp, and I've got 3. So, and that beautiful last one was a mirror. Can't believe I ended up having like a little tench, tiny little tench, and then boom, that nice little mirror. So rods are back out again. This is going to be this is the last chuck on both rods, and then I'm heading home. Obviously you've seen the rain, you can hear it as well, so it's a heavy one. But other than that, very happy with how today's gone. It was very slow at the start. I was happy to catch anything. End of the day I thought, yeah, I'll pop some pop-ups, which don't do really well on this lake apparently, and yeah, boshed them out. So I feel like it's accomplished. Right, back over to the specimen lake. I promise that's the last jump. You seem to video yourself quite a lot while you're doing these little sessions to see the content and make little videos, but I wanted to make it all in one as these sessions are quite close to each other. But big thank you to my dad for filming all this footage of me getting this fishing, and as you'll see later on, it's one of the carp that I was targeting. Very happy to have caught.
I was talking about this yesterday.
wanted to catch this one.
The hand with it, I don't want to carry
If
on.
you can use the net, that'd be great, yeah. Just, right, just put your phone away, it's fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'll just get a...
I'm so happy that we post.
It's a bit of a weird moment for me, this. I haven't got very similar interests to my dad. I take more after my mum, and I'm not good with football, not good with sports. So it's really nice to have him to come and spend some time with me and capture some of this moment. A lot of the video footage you've seen he's done himself, and then he doesn't like the cold. You can see him all wrapped up. Well, we both are, I guess. And yeah, absolutely nails this landing.
Can you pick it up now? So yeah, up. Yeah, nice. Woo! That's it. Time as well. I say 24, 20. Oh. There we go. 24, 20. Came into it as a massive vicious take and came onto the rod that I put in that corner and just baited lightly yesterday. Beautiful mirror. It's got some growths on it, but still very, very happy with that. That was a really nice catch to get, especially with my dad being there, chatting the chat, and then all of a sudden got a take in the middle rod. Had to reel that in, and then I put it back out in the centre of the lake again, same position, but the wind kind of took it off to the left, and I was just stood there like, I'm not happy with this. It's not landed where I want it to land. And then all of a sudden, boom, the left-hand rod went. And I thought maybe it was my line because the wind had drawn over the line, so I thought, oh, maybe I'm just reeling in something else. I kind of watched it for a few seconds, then all of a sudden, and I just hear my reels like, yeah, super exciting that was. Just, yeah, and it was nice. My dad's obviously got it all on footage, and you can just see in the video as well that the fish jumping up. As I was fighting it, jumped up in the air, and I was like, that's not the fish I've just got, is it? I thought it might be a fish moving out of the way or something like that, and then the next bit comes out again, and that's the one my dad's caught on camera. It's coming up to bite time again, so round 4, 4:30 is a bite time usually. All rods are rocking. I've got one on the bottom bait, one on spinner, which is on a yellow, and then I put the other rod back out where I've just had that 24 mirror. Again, the mirror is such a beautiful thing. It's a shame it's got them growths on it, but other than the growth, it's just an absolute, I mean, the colour as well, it's like a nice dark brown as well. I'm hoping that the camera's picking up the colour pretty well. But I thought onto the lake, I thought I'd talk about the lake a little bit. So it's 1.5 acres. It's got 2 islands in the middle. I'm on peg 6, I think it's got 8 pegs or 9 pegs. I think 8 pegs. And it's got the largest in the lake is a grass carp up to 32 pounds. It very rarely comes out, because apparently when everyone gets it to the net, bombs off, doesn't go in the net, and it obviously pulls and snaps hooks and stuff. So I'm making sure I've got really strong rigs on at the minute, just in case it comes into the net. And there's just a few beautiful, some commons under £30 and a couple of mirrors under 30 as well, and then loads and loads of 20s. So yeah, so far on the roster, I've got I had a tench to start off with. I had the £20 grass carp, then the 27 PB, and then moved on to a £17 common, and then late last night, which I only got a picture of because I didn't bother taking, I think I've already mentioned this, but I didn't bother taking a video, was low doubles. Nice looking fish, really clean as well. Just annoying that I had to wake up for such a small fish. And then just that fish, that £24 common, mirror that I've just had. So my rod is literally just beat before I press the record button, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's a really nice lake, it's really weedy. There's a lot of dye in here to try and kill off the weeds. So there's some areas where it's just unfishable really, even with a spinner rig. The weed is just too high. But if you find them sort of firmer ground, there's a lot of gravel areas. I'm fishing beyond the gravel areas, so everyone keeps telling me to fish 7.5 and I'm fishing 8.5 just to get on them sort of softer silts. And there's somewhere in the middle there's a big dip as well where I'm gathering a lot of my baits going in, and that's where I'm picking up all the bites, making me want to purchase like a sonar as well, because I can't put my marker float out. It's just too weedy in some areas and it just won't work. But just before I leave tomorrow, I might have to give the marker float another go. I just didn't want to do too much disturbance because I'm only here for a couple of nights. But that's it, yeah. So we've got tonight, well, rest of today and tonight, and then see how things go. So as I was saying, this is the long shank, and on the rig that I'm using now I've got a hair coming out of the other end, which is then had a little pop up on the end, which I'm weighting down a tiny bit with a lead shot, but I'll show you that once I reel it in again. Then I've got about 2 inches of supple braid there, and it's just creating a lot of movement and then straight into the boom. So in theory, my idea of, obviously theory behind it, if boom is invisible as everyone's saying, then you've got this whole hook section here is invisible. I've got a material on the end that looks very weedy like, and then if I get a buoyant bait just above the hook, then in theory all that's been able to see is this, which on the lake bottom, if it's weedy, shouldn't be too visible. It's got really good hooking potential as well. As I've mentioned before, I've been testing it on my hand and I've almost scarred myself quite a few times there. The difference between the 2 rigs that I tend to use is I love the curve on this one. I love how this curves right round and is able to hook on really well. When you put a sleeve on here, this hook pattern almost opens up the gape a little bit, so if you imagine it's that bit wider for the hook to flip around and catch in. The last fish I got, sadly I didn't film it, I was a bit too buzzing with my dad, that it's got really good hooking potential. It's straight in the bottom lip, pops straight back out again as well, like it was just dead simple. So great rig to keep changing the hook as well in case it blunts. I mean, this one's still sharp and it's been in the water twice, so I'll keep up with them. But that's it really, that's all news on that last fish.
Another grassy. This one at 23.2. There we go. Won't keep him out for long. He's being really calm and collective, so happy with that. So I've got a feisty one here. It's £19.2. Calm down now for the photo, is a bit angry. Yeah, another
Another one from middle of the lake, grass carp. They seem to love my little spot. And that's it guys, hope you enjoyed watching and I hope to see you at the bank soon.